Loud. We're live. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Williams Summit. My name is Julius and I'm going to be your student host for today. We're fortunate to have the founder of Willys Chicken, Neema Zarrabian. To start, before we get into Willys Chicken, do you just mind introducing yourself? Where you're from, what sport you play, your major, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, Julius. I appreciate it. So, like Julius said, my name is Neema Zarrabian. I'm a senior at Williams. I'm from the Boston area, just about 20 minutes west of it, from Newton, Massachusetts. I play football at Williams. I work on campus as a student leader, like leading groups to stimulate like friendship on campus, and then I'm also part of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, or SAC, which is more commonly known as.
Awesome. What's your major?
I'm a psychology major.
Gotcha. Awesome. And so I guess kind of getting into Willys Chickens, for those who don't know, what is it?
Yeah, so every Sunday, I basically put together about 40 to 50 meals for students and faculty on campus, and even actually some locals. So basically, it's kind of like a fast food restaurant that I run out of my off-campus house. We serve fried chicken sandwiches with side like mac and cheese, biscuits, gravy, potatoes, and we deliver, partnered with Eats Delivers as well. So just kind of like a casual, kind of different cuisine around here because there's no fried chicken really in Williamstown or neighboring towns.
I know I'm a loyal customer. So, how did you come up with the idea? Where were you? Was it an epiphany or a slow realization? Yeah, I heard you speaking earlier, you might have noticed a missing market, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. In the fall, I actually cooked for my roommates in my house about 4 or 5 days a week. So there's six of us. We all are or were on the football team at one point or another. So I
Big
learned.
eaters.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of large people eating a lot of food. So I kind of like learned how to teach myself how to cook during that time. And actually, around Christmas time, I got contact traced, and my entire house got contact traced. We weren't allowed to leave our house, so we spent a lot of time together. And one of my roommates like showed me it was actually a trend on TikTok to make like copycat fried chicken sandwiches. He said,
Hmm.
"You have to make this for us one day." So I think it might have been Christmas Eve or maybe the 23rd that we had a friend of a friend drop off the groceries, do all the shopping for us, and then I put it together, and it was their favorite meal of anything I'd ever made all
That's
fall.
awesome.
So over like January and February, I kind of like it's like, oh, this could be an idea. Let me try making it for 12 people. I asked some of my other friends to order, telling them like, hey guys, try this out. And I was like, all right, this is doable. Maybe I can make something out of this. And then called it Big Willys Chicken after a few other ideas, and here we are a few months later.
That's crazy. Was there somebody who was like, you need to sell this, or
I think that was me actually. I was like, wow, you need to
it's
sell
like
this.
I really did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are really good.
Glad
But
you enjoyed.
I'm sure it wasn't all great. What kind of challenges did you go through, that kind of thing, or big
Yeah.
lessons did you learn?
Yeah. A lot of planning and time management and not putting too much of a burden on myself. I think
Hmm.
it's not an easy thing to make 40 chicken sandwiches, 50 chicken sandwiches one day, keep them all warm, make sure they're cooked all the way through, um, and kind of doing all the work myself. So I have to take care of like the actual cooking side of it, but also like if I buy my stuff at the local at Stop and Shop, I'm gonna not make any money. I'll have no profit.
Hmm.
If I plan 2 weeks ahead, I have like a restaurant wholesaler and a butcher locally as well. And if I get my supplies from there, that's like really where all the profit comes in.
Hmm.
So I think like my first few weeks when I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this and see if I can maybe make a little money off of it. That's kind of where I was like, I wasn't really, I wasn't making any money and I didn't have
You're
enough.
just trying to make people happy, people like
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Exactly. And so I think the biggest challenge was just like figuring out what it would actually look like and how it would actually work. Like I remember the first trial week when I was like giving Eats Delivers like free food and everything, I was getting like tinfoil containers, wrapping them in tinfoil, and like now we have to go containers and like wow,
Hmm.
isn't that convenient? It's like the little like start to finish planning of like what it's like to be a customer. I think thinking about that really has gone a long way.
So get into the time management piece. You were kind of humble earlier. You mentioned you were on SAC, that kind of thing. But you're also a student, So how is managing all those things and how did
Yeah,
you get it done?
It's definitely a lot. I've become a big fan of to-do lists, honestly. Just like every few hours reprioritizing what I need to get done and like how I'm gonna do it, where I'm gonna do it, what it's gonna look like. So I think like anytime I keep like 10 different notebooks nowadays on like one is like my chicken, one is each class, one is like to-do list, one is like grocery list, one is like a learning journal. Like I just try to like organize everything and keep them like all together, kind of like a little filing system. And that's really allowed me to not have to like manage my time traditionally. I'm able to just all the systems that I've created, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you do what works for you. I feel that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, like, what have been some of your biggest wins on the other
Big,
side?
biggest wins in terms of chicken or
Willys Chicken, yeah, chicken, yeah.
yeah, I think I had my one of my goals was to have like make 50 sandwiches a week, and I
Hmm.
did, and it was awesome. It's a lot of fun, and I always like try to check in with my customers, like was everything okay, like no issues, like everything tasted good, everything was cooked all the way through. Because I mean, if something bad happens, I need to know right away and not
Hmm.
put out any fires. So I think hitting that 50 sandwich mark, that was like my second milestone. But the second week, actually, I just wanted to make 20 of them, and that was pretty awesome. And then the reach on Instagram. That's I expected early on I would only be selling to like friends, people I knew, like, hey, try this. I'm sure you'll like it. I'm happy to
Hmm.
do a discount or anything. Just like trying to get them to try it because it is really good food, frankly. And
Yeah.
I think seeing that maybe necessarily wasn't the model I need to go after. I think if I'd taken better pictures of my sandwiches early on, I would have had a much better reach. So I
Mm.
think the random customers have really been a big milestone for me. If that
That's
makes
awesome. So, like, get into that. Like, you said you like struggled with marketing or
yeah. Yeah, I
into.
think well, the first like 2 or 3 weeks I was doing everything alone. I was making all the
Mm.
food, writing down all the orders in the boxes, making sure the money was being taken care of, putting together every single order. So I didn't have time to take pictures. I frankly like
Hmm.
want to be doing that. I need to make sure like the food was hot, the food was ready, was good, and the customers were getting it on time. So the first couple of weeks I like took like really bad pictures of my iPhone. Like there was smoke still on my phone, like chicken grease everywhere. And
The
then
real experience.
yeah, no, it really is amazing. This little kitchen. That's also another challenge I forgot to talk about. Our kitchen is very small. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, the marketing was like, I need to be doing this. Like I need to email my customers and make sure they're reordering, telling their friends, providing like group order discounts because those are the
Hmm.
most revenue. I'd rather make one big group order, have that one person pick it up, than have to do 5 individual transactions.
Mm.
And kind of having like a schedule of like, okay, Wednesday night I'm posting, okay, Friday afternoon to post, and then we're gonna post a story of that, and Saturday posting multiple times because it's a Sunday order. So I know most people won't be worrying about their Sunday dinner on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Mm. Got you. Got you. And so, I mean, you're a senior now. So, what's next for Willie's Chickens? And like,
Yeah.
what do you think your like big takeaway will be if there is no next?
I'm not quite sure what's next right now. I've kind of been thinking about that. I think it would be great if I could somehow continue getting back to the Williams community and providing a service that makes people happy and that they want to help promote. Um, yeah, so I'm not quite sure what's next for Willie's Chicken right now. And I think my big takeaway is that I like to be on my feet and I like to work in a high-paced environment.
Hmm.
Being Willie's Chicken and being like, all right, the chicken fryer is done. You got to sprint to the oven and put together a sandwich. And you have 30 seconds to do it all, but you only have one hand because you're holding an oven mitt and you're doing the potatoes too. Like that's hard, but it's fun. And there's nothing like for me being done on Sunday, seeing a really dirty kitchen that I need to clean and just sitting down for a minute and be like, okay, it was an awesome day. It was hard. We interacted with our customers great and it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, where did you get that like entrepreneurial spirit? Like, did you catch it somewhere?
I think so. I started like doing like working in like seventh or eighth grade as a caddy. And I
Hmm.
always like was trying to think about how I could do it like better than all the other caddies. And then like I was a camp counselor, like same thing. I was like, all right, like
Competitive spirit.
yeah, competitive you could say. And I've always like even senior year of high school, I did like a small entrepreneurial project where we sold wristbands to help like raise money for Alzheimer's Association, Environmental League Massachusetts, and breast cancer awareness.
Hmm.
Just like I've always kind of wanted to create my own thing and do some kind of like a non-tried and true path. So I think I don't know if I like picked that up somewhere. I think I might have just been born that way, honestly. And I've had a lot of opportunities like Willys Chicken to do that. And I just know I love it. So I'm gonna like listen to that and steer into it when I have the opportunity.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so, like, how has, like your Williams liberal arts education kind of contributed to, it's like dealing with all those different facets, that kind of thing,
Yeah, I think
if
being
at
able to,
all?
yeah, oh, a ton. I think being able to balance many things at once and juggle around from school to extracurriculars to selling chicken has been a
Mhm.
lot, and being able to put on different hats. So like in the classroom versus in a lecture or in like a discussion class versus like a lecture class versus on the football field.
Mhm.
Those are different hats, and you need to know like have the right mindset, the right preparation, and like kind of the right like cool down or like closing, if that makes any sense.
No,
And
absolutely.
being having the opportunity to take such like diverse classes and be around people who are so open minded has really given me that kind of foundation that I think will help me in whatever project I pursue.
Gotcha. All right, last question, and we ask everybody this, but what is your bumper sticker?
Yeah,
It's like pretty much just like a one sentence thing that you want to leave the community with.
yeah, I think mine is today was a good day. I think it's really important to be positive and look back on every day, be proud of doing something and do something that brings you joy. So those aren't exactly the same thing, but they are very intertwined.
Hmm.
I think it's easy to get caught up and lost in school or at work and feel like life isn't going so great. But if I just try to remind myself that every day is a good day and we're so blessed to have opportunities every day. So
Heard that. Heard that. Absolutely. All right, Neema. Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, thanks, Julius. Appreciate your time.
Cool.
Having me.